What's up, guys? Here today to do JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders episode 23 review. Now, in this episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, this new enemy that they're facing, the Priestess, as was given by Abdal. This is a very dire situation for them right now. It's a very dire, very dangerous situation. They're 40 meters below the sea, even though they reached the vicinity of Egypt because they traveled along the Red Sea, right? As was stated earlier in this episode, they traveled along the Red Sea, and the Red Sea basically separates Saudi Arabia and Egypt that have two deserts, and it's called the Red Sea because it's surrounded by deserts. And they were traveling along that sea for the whole duration up to when they almost reached the point of getting to the Red Sea, right? This thing that the Priestess stand, right? It looks like this kind of miniature person with a big head that has sharp claws, right? And it took off Joseph's artificial hand, like it was slicing through butter, like knife through butter. It took short work of Joe Starrow's artificial hand, damaged him, knocked him out, made him unconscious. It's running up all around the place. Anytime they try to attack it, it just blends into the environment, right? Shows up at the worst possible time, right? At one point, Joseph's stand, no, rather Jotaro's stand, Star Platinum, held the Priestess in his hand, like ready to crush it. But just as it was supposedly going to crush it, it transformed into a razor and injured Jotaro in the process. And Jotaro was there standing, like, after everyone was going to the other compartment to escape the submarine. He was saying that he swore that he will defeat the stand user. So a lot of hectic stuff happening in this episode. It gave us a lot of insights, and seeing as though they're almost in Egypt, almost ready to face Dio, right? This seems like the final hurdle before they do get to Egypt. Maybe it will be the final hurdle for them, who knows? But the battle is not yet over by any means, and I'm sure that Dio by himself is no bitch. He's no slouch. He always has a bag of stand users to send after him. We've seen this constantly throughout the series thus far. There's always stand users out there, always. So one point that I would like to mention that I noticed in this episode is the point that Susie, which is Joseph's wife, which is Holly's mother, which is Jotaro's grandmother. Wow, that was a mouthful, kind of confusing. But basically, Susie, she is Joseph's wife, right? When she recalled the phone after after Joseph hung up the last time and she wanted to speak to him, Jotaro answered the phone because Joseph was unconscious, right? In talking to Jotaro, she said that she hasn't seen him for a very long while, and they were talking about him, saying that really deep down she knows that he's a person that really cares deep for his family. And I can see hints of that in this episode. Right now he knows that his mother is in danger, and even though he calls his mother a bitch, weird enough as it is, right, and he's generally standoffish towards females in general, he calls his mother a bitch, weird enough as that is, he knows that he's almost at that final hurdle, and he really does care about his family, his mother especially, deep down. That's why I believe he got pissed that these stand users, they keep showing up, and this is the final hurdle. This stand called the High Priestess or whatever, he swears that he will take it down because he realizes that for his mother Holly, there's not a lot of time left because of the curse and how she got sick and all of that. we already know that, right? It's been almost a month since they left Japan, and right at the point that they were leaving Japan, they said that they had about 50 days before Holly's condition would become fatal. So almost a month. They have a couple days left, about 2 to 3 weeks left probably at this point. So they actually need to start picking up the pace to get rid of Dio, because Dio by himself, I know that he's no bitch. So right there, with Jotaro's action, right, he's not the sort of dude that's double double, but at the same time he shows his concern. He shows that he cares for you by his attention. In this case, wanting to take down this final stand user, because he realizes that it's getting in the way of their plans. So I did notice that about Jotaro, and we also get an interesting conversation between Susie and Joseph. We get more backstory about him. In this sense, we see that their butler Rosas, he knows all about Joseph's plan. He knows all about Holly's condition and all of that, and he was basically bringing up the point that maybe they should tell Susie about it, seeing as though she's a mother, and maybe she should know. But Joseph, basically, he just wants to deal with the problem and just let it happen, like it never even happened in the first place. He doesn't want to burden his wife Susie with the burden of knowing that their daughter Holly's life is in danger. And currently, Joseph, Jotaro, and his group are doing their best. Yeah, they're doing their best at this current time to change things along that way. But overall, this new stand user, the High Priestess, man, this is a very dire situation for them. They're under so many meters of water pressure. They're deep in the sea. They're almost at Egypt, but their submarine crashed. Right? Things always end up going haywire for them. But overall, I thought that this was another good episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Liked it a lot. So that's it. That's my review. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe. Sayonara.